Antibiotic action, its aim is to tell everybody, from the general public to healthcare professionals, scientists and everybody in between, about the problems of antibiotic resistance and how we must get new treatments for bacterial infections. It's really important that everybody understands that antibiotics are extremely valuable. They underpin many areas of medicine, and so we've got to use them very carefully and minimise the use. So by minimising, we reduce the chances of bacteria becoming resistant. Antibiotic action's been running for 2 years now, and we've worked very hard to engage with politicians both in the UK and further afield. And definitely in the UK, as you know, the Chief Medical Officer is a very strong advocate of taking action. And the Department of Health produced their antimicrobial resistance strategy a few weeks ago. There's a select committee inquiry at the moment which will help inform the Department of Health for their action plan next year. And Dame Sally is now chairing a World Health Organization committee as well. So there's a lot going on, and I'm working with all of these. In fact, BSAC is a secretariat for the all-party parliamentary group on antibiotics. Well, the key message, which is actually really going to be all over Europe on Monday, which is European Antibiotic Awareness Day, is use these drugs carefully and think twice about whether you need them for a tickly throat or a sniffle. There's a lot of literature available to GPs, but one of the most important things that's now available is a sheet that can be given to patients that will tell them that they may not need an antibiotic for the symptoms now, but if they're really worried, they can be given a prescription which they can use in, say, 2 or 3 days' time if their symptoms change, and there's quite clear information on that sheet. My research team investigates how bacteria become resistant to antibiotics, and then using that information to as a platform for discovery for new treatments. So we're not in a position to make new drugs, but we can sort of set the scene for others to go on and make new drugs. So in particular, we are working on why do drugs not stay inside bacterial cells, and the reason is they're pumped out. So it's basically a vacuum cleaner. So what we're doing is understanding how that vacuum cleaner is turned on and off. And if we can understand that, that then's a target for discovery. And what we've got is we've developed a new tool that will tell us when this pump is turned off and on. And what we're looking for are now small molecules or ways of turning the pump off. And if we can turn the pump off, many of the drugs that are already available suddenly start working again. We publish obviously in scientific and medical journals. We discuss our work very widely at conferences. I do a lot of public awareness outside of that, so I do things like Soapbox Science, which is supported by Royal Society, and L'Oreal for Science, Women in Science. And that means we get this out not just to colleagues who can build on that work, but people in industry and the general public, because it's important they actually understand what we're doing with effectively public money.